In this episode, we're going to talk about the Sumo Deadlift.
I want you to have the capability to fully move the way your body was designed to, right?
Jump of a head, I'll take you back to where my problems lie. In trouble, younger daughter done some that made my mama cry. Out to the heavens like I bless him for I know he's lost. Caught in a trance and this manic depression settled in. Living in the fantasy world.
Hey, what's up everybody? I'm Dr. Horschig and this is episode 41 of the Ask Squat U show. Today I am joined by powerlifter Ryan Baylark. He lifts in the USAPL and he excels at the Sumo Deadlift.
The Ask Squat U show question of the day for myself and Ryan reads, I've wanted to try Sumo Deadlift for some time since I do get a little lower back pain occasionally, but it feels weird to switch over since I'm obviously comfortable with conventional. Any good links or vids to help make the switch? PT isn't in the budget at the moment.
So I'm going to have Ryan introduce himself, talk to you guys about his lifting background, and then he is going to go into a lot of detail into how you guys can perfect the Sumo Deadlift at home. So Ryan, I'll let you take it away.
So I'm Ryan Baylark. I compete in the USAPL in the 93 kg weight class, 205. My best lifts right now include a 606 squat, 468 bench press, and a 655 deadlift. I'm a cop from Kansas, and I run Sheepdog Strength Training as the owner and trainer.
Cool. All right, so Ryan is going to get onto the barbell right now, and we are going to go over the basics of the Sumo Deadlift.
All right, so the first thing you want to determine is your stance width. So I like to be as close to the plates as possible, but you don't have to be out that far. If you prefer more of a narrow stance deadlift, like my dude Deadlift Panda, he's more of a narrow stance deadlifter. But I like to be all the way out, toes to the plates, get the hips opened up, the knees kind of pointed out, toes pointed out. Toe positioning is another thing. Some people like to be more forward, like Kyle Power. But for me, I like to have my hips opened up, toes pointed out, toes all the way to the plates. From here, I like to have my hips stacked up over the bar. I don't like to have my hips all the way back because I feel like that'll cause me to have my hips just shoot up. And then it's like a stiff-legged sumo deadlift. So once I got my stance width, got my toes pointed out, my hips are over the bar, I take a deep breath, brace into my stomach real tight, get set up. I prefer mixed grip. Some sumo deadlifters prefer hook. That way you don't have any issues with your lockout, but mixed grip has worked best for me. So one of the most important things about the sumo is getting tight. So it's not a conventional deadlift where you can just grip it and rip it. If you don't get tight in your setup, it'll allow the bar to drift out in front of you, and it's going to make it nearly impossible to finish strong at lockout. All right, so now I'm going to demonstrate what I do and how I prefer to get tight on my sumo deadlift. So after you're set up in your preferred stance width, preferred toe angle, I like to set my underhand first, get that tight, my overhand, and then from here, I turn my elbows into my pockets, engage my lats, and look straight ahead. So, again, take all the slack out of the bar, turn my elbows into my pockets.
All right, so I know when we were talking before we started shooting this video, you said that one of the most common problems you see in those who deadlift sumo is where the hips are going to be rising quicker than the chest, correct?
Correct.
So let's do this. I'm going to turn the camera. We're going to go from a side view so people can see that fault, and then we'll talk about specific cues for a way to fix that. Right. So changing camera angle.
Energy flows where attention goes, so I pay no mind. Why waste my...
So if you do not engage your lats, if you let that bar drift out in front of you, what's going to happen is your hips are going to shoot up. It's going to look like a stiff-legged sumo. And you're going to have to work really hard to row that bar into you. It's going to make your lockout difficult. It's where you might start hitching and get some downward movement. So in a powerlifting competition, it's going to be red lights all day. I'll demonstrate what it looks like if you don't get tight and engage your lats. It's not as effective and it's way harder.
All right, guys, so that is it for today's Ask Squad U show. I hope it was informative and giving you a little bit more detail about how to properly execute a sumo deadlift. Now, if you guys do have any future questions on this, you guys can reach out to Ryan. Ryan, what is your contact info for these guys?
So you can hit me up on Instagram at RyanOnPoint. You could also hit me up through SheepdogST on Instagram, and you could email me through my personal training business at sheepdogst@gmail.com.
Perfect. All right, and I definitely want you guys to follow Ryan, especially in his route to these next couple years in being a powerlifter. He recently switched weight classes, and you have a couple big meets coming up, correct?
That's correct. So I recently went from 183, the 83 kg weight class. Last year I placed third at Raw Nationals, but now I'm bumping up to the 205, 93 kg weight class. I'm competing at regionals this week in St. Louis, hoping to crack the top 5, top 10, and make it back to prime time for USAPL.
There you go. So lifting some big ass weights. Definitely follow this guy on his journey. So hope you guys liked today's Ask Squat U show. If you did, please like, comment, and question of the day. Ryan, what is your question of the day?
So my question for you guys is, as a deadlifter, do you prefer some wrestling style shoes like the ones that I'm wearing, or are you a deadlift slipper type of guy or gal, and why?
There you go. We want to know your answers in the comment section below. Again, if you liked today's show, please share it with all your friends and subscribe to the channel. So again, thank you for watching today's show. Until next week, guys, happy squatting.
Hometown hero on the road doing shows and sold out arenas. You can call me what you want, but you won't ever slow my dreams up. This is the vision of a dreamer. I seem to